Alright guys, yet another truck update. Unfortunately, I got some bad news. But before we get to that, let's talk about something positive. I did get a new gas cap door. Gas cap cover? I think it's gas cap door, maybe. It's this thing, you know, the thing that covers your gas cap. I kind of realized something, and that is because I put these locking gas caps on here, I do want to keep it out of the elements. I don't want snow and ice getting, you know, jammed in there and freezing up that lock, because that'll be trouble. So, I want to do it anyway, but I talked about it in my last update that I bought it, and I finally just popped it on. It was pretty straightforward. There's no real good information that I found, anyway, with my quick search on how to do this, so I had to kind of figure it out on my own. So basically, I realized that once I removed these bolts, this whole plastic piece behind the gas cap, it's basically like a mount. It's what's holding the filler neck straight, okay, so it's not wobbling around when you're driving around. And also I would imagine it's like considered a splash guard in case you miss whatever. It doesn't sit in the frame. The gas kind of sits on that plastic thing. Anyway, once you move that completely out of the way, I was able to kind of jam in the hinge enough to where it got behind the side here, and then just lined up the proper holes, put in the hardware, which it didn't come with. I had to go to the hardware store. That's one other thing. You should be well equipped with nuts and bolts and screws and nails and all kinds of stuff, and unfortunately I don't have all that stuff yet. You know, my situation right now, I'm renting. I don't have a house yet. One day when I have a house and I have more room, yeah, I'll save every little nut and bolt that I, you know, take off of things, because it's good to have a collection for projects like this. But unfortunately I didn't decide to run all the way to the hardware store just to get it. In fact, there's two sets of holes. I got the wrong bolts because I assumed it was a hole that the bolt went into and you had a nut in the back. When I got back and realized it didn't line up, I found out that there's actually a separate hole. I didn't see it because the hinge was shut. Once you open the hinge, I was able to see it easily, that there was actually some threaded nuts that were you know, welded onto the back of this piece here. So it became pretty obvious. Long story short, if you ever have to do this on a truck, it's really easy. It's just a matter of figuring it out. So that's that. Let's get on to the bad news. Unfortunately, this is very, very sad news, but that is life. Things happen. I wouldn't have known this if it weren't for a viewer who pointed it out. So big kudos to him. Inside the cab here, I actually have coolant. It's gonna be hard to see because I cleaned it up mostly, but there was coolant that was dripping in onto the mat, and then it was running down and filling up this channel here. You can see some of the residue still. So I have a coolant leak inside the cab. Now what that tells me is that it's probably either the hose or the heater core, all right, which is basically behind the glove box and everything. This whole thing, I believe, is considered the heater box, or whatever it is underneath here. So all this has to come out. I have to check. I probably need a new heater core. Maybe I got lucky and it's just the hose itself. You know, maybe it's dry rotted out, so I just have to replace the hose. But either way, this whole thing has to basically come out, and I gotta check in there and see what's going on. I guess I'll drive it like this, but it's obviously not a good thing, so I want to get it fixed up as soon as possible. So right now the truck's just sitting until I can get around to doing that. So yeah, that's pretty much the update. So unfortunately it's some bad news, but you know, nothing that can't be overcome, I guess. You know, when I was a little bit younger, I'd get some bad news and I'd freak out. And to be honest, I still do sometimes, but I'm trying to grow up and trying to be an adult, and part of being an adult is just learning that life is just a bunch of ups and downs, you know. You have good moments and bad moments, and when you got some crappy moments, you really got to think about the good moments that are ahead, and vice versa. You know, when you're having some great moments in life, sometimes you do have to be smart and prepare for, you know, the lows. And I'm, you know, referring to financials. If you're doing good and, you know, you're paying all your bills and everything, you can save some money. Do save some money, because eventually you're bound to need some more. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I mean, at this point, the Chrysler needs some new brakes, brake pads. I probably need some new calipers at this point as well, so I'm gonna have to focus on the car I don't own yet, the one I'm still making payments on, and put this off to the side for a little while. So I'll get it done before winter. It is an important thing. I don't want to drive around you know, with that leaking like that. So anyway, that's all. I'll keep you guys updated. Thanks for watching. Gus, say goodbye. Gus, say goodbye. Don't be rude. Bye. Thanks for watching.